Hi, YouTube. I am technologically, intellectually deficient, if you get what I'm trying to say. Welcome to my new channel. My name is Katie. I am Katie Plays with Beauty. I'm a mother of two. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I like to say I'm a recovering attorney and aspiring esthetician. I'd love to go to beauty school, esthetician school in the near future when my kids both get into school full-time. But I've really enjoyed beauty YouTube, skincare YouTube, cosmetics YouTube, and I live in South Florida. It's very intense in the summer, and so I really want to bring cosmetics back into my life. Skincare has always been in my life. I've had a journey with that. We can go into that at another time. However, I wanted to share my routines. I wanted to get some feedback as to cosmetics, and I learned so much about cosmetics on YouTube. The community is so cool. I follow many of the influencers I'm sure you guys follow. But while I was recently investigating under eye correctors, concealers, ways to brighten the under eye, I stumbled across Gabby, what's her name? Glam Girl Gabby, and her fantastic interviews with Rosemary Swift from RMS. And really her problems were my problems, which is if I put anything under the eye, it looks worse than if I had put nothing at all. I have some expression lines when I smile. At rest, not so much, but if I smile, I naturally have some lines. But what happens is if I put anything on it, the texture of the under eye gets picked up. It looks weird, it looks cakey, it looks terrible. So I've just taken a step away from putting anything under the eyes cosmetically in terms of makeup. But when this issue was specifically addressed with Glam Girl Gabby and Rosemary Swift introduced to me, I mean, not to me alone, but to the general public. Again, it's been a popular product, the Cover Up concealer, and I was intrigued. I did my research, and I was really impressed to find that RMS offers a really great service on their website where they connect you with an RMS makeup artist. You schedule a time for the call, and they'll go into color matching, whatever you want to talk about. They'll talk about as it pertains to RMS cosmetics. There's no pressure to buy. It's absolutely free, super easy to schedule. And so on a whim, on a 4 o'clock one afternoon, I told my husband at 5:30 I got an appointment with Donna, an RMS makeup artist, and she's going to color match me for this concealer. And he was like, fine. So I stepped away from my kids and my husband, and I took a lovely Zoom phone call. Was it Zoom? I don't know. It was a video call. And I talked to Donna, the makeup artist, and she was delightful. And she recommended shade 22 in the Uncover Up concealer. And then I asked her if she had any thoughts about a lip color that would enhance my look. And she recommended Eve in their, oopsie daisy, in their RMS serum lipstick, which is very interesting. And on top of that, so I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. I was confused about which Uncover Up concealer to order. She recommended 22. I didn't believe it. She's the expert. I know she had like 20 or 30 years. I don't want to age her. She looked great, but she had decades of experience. She looked at me, she said 22. I go, that cannot be. She said it is. She said she could imagine putting 11.5 on me as a corrector, maybe. But she said 11 was too light. I knew she was right, but I bought all three after I couldn't find online on YouTube a swatch of all three next to each other. Um, the images they have on the website, I don't think are great in terms of like exploring the, the color contrasts, whatever. I just bought all three during the Earth Day sale. So my intention was to, see all three, return the ones that didn't work, and be done with it. But then I thought, because I couldn't find a swatch of all three, 11.5, 11, and 22. I'm not sure I made that clear before. I bought 11, 11.5, and 22. I thought, what the hell? I'll swatch them. This is what people do on YouTube, and I hope what I'm about to do is useful. Donna also mentioned that because it's an all-natural product, it really lasts longer if it's kept in a fridge. So today, after I finished opening all three and testing all three, I put them back in the boxes, and I put them in my cosmetic fridge, which rests right next to my bed. And before recording, I went to go retrieve them, and they were moist. So I had already committed to keeping all three because, here's the end. They all work. But I am now committed because now the boxes are all soggy. I no longer need the boxes. I'm keeping all three. They found their home with me, and I'm very happy with the product. This, by the way, I have no social media. As it stands at the moment of this recording, I have no social media presence, really. So obviously this video is not sponsored. I bought these with my own money, willfully and gladly. But here is my first attempt to swatch for the general public. Please bear with me, be gentle. Okay, so I have 11. And I'm going to do this right now with my soggy boxes. And by the way, if you have a recommendation for a cosmetics fridge, please comment. Let me know. I'm always looking for something better in life, except for, my husband. I'm very happy with him. I'm not looking for anything better. Okay, so I have an 11, 11.5, and 22. Now, apparently, I might be misquoting. I don't speak the language of color theory, and I'm very, I've been using cosmetics since I was a kid, but it's not my area of expertise. So what I heard was that the 0.5s in this range are more peach, so they serve as more of a color corrector. So that's what they said. I'm going to roll up my UPF sleeves and do this on my forearm, as is done. So first, this is the 11. This is the lightest color. Here it is in the pan. I think it's a little bit deceiving on camera. Trying to get my wits about me here. This is an all-natural product. You can look up the ingredients online very easily. We're starting with the lightest 11. And again, my goal was to brighten the under eyes. I have a little bit of darkness under here. I have some texture under here from these little tiny, if you go right up to the mirror, there's like these little tiny bumps in the skin that are just apparently a natural part of the skin. If you're right up in my face, like a doctor looking at me, you can see it. But, people speak looking at me at a normal distance, you can't. But it's just, I tried Tower 28, and I tried the Beauty Pie corrector. They just looked horrible on me. No matter how little I put on, just horrible. So let's see. This is the 11. And I am going to do 2 swipes so you can actually really see this. This is the 11. Actually quite a nice match for my inner arm. I am very low tech. Okay, I was born in 1984, which is no excuse because a lot of people born in 1984 are tech billionaires. Okay, but that's here. Let me see if I can. This is gonna wash it out, maybe. I don't know. You guys, if you're watching this, God bless you. Okay, let's see. Maybe if I put this right here. Okay, that's 11. I'll use a different finger. This is 11.5. And you will see that it is significantly more peach. Right? So any darkness, it does, I can confirm, correct. And then with my ring finger, I'll do 22, which is golden for me, but it really blends nicely. I am gonna have to get used to this. Woo! Let's see. Let me adjust my camera. This is not as easy as it looks, my friends. I don't know how good of a job I'm doing here. So you can clearly see how peach the 11.5 is. And needless to say, 22 is a little more gold and 11 is a little more fair. Long story short, I paint by numbers on my face. So the gold is great. I kind of just touch up a little around the face. I can do some darkness in the inner quarters and right under the eye and maybe around the hollows here with the 11.5. And then I can also put on a little bit of 11 just for some general lightness. And what I do, as was instructed to me by Donna, the RMS makeup artist, was to warm up the product in the pot, tap, 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 and then kind of stipple with your finger, but do not swipe. That's not how it's intended to be used. It is a product that wears elegantly, and I really tested it. Today is Sunday. On Saturday, I have a janky setup, okay? Listen, I'm sorry. I'll get better at this. On Saturday, I took my son, again, we live in Fort Lauderdale. It is April, late April. There's cool breezes coming from the ocean, but the sun is intense. The sun is intense and it is hot. So I took my son on a pirate ship adventure with his buddies from preschool, and we spent the entire day outside, went to lunch outside at a restaurant near the beach, and then we went to an uncovered playground, okay? Intensely hot. You could have fried an egg on the ground because we were at the playground at noon. I only wore 22. I did 22 all over my face. I blended in with my finger around the eye, and I used a concealer brush to kind of do the rest around the face. It worked beautifully. I wore it under, and I'd love to get into my sun care routines and skincare routines in a later video. but I wore it under the La Roche-Posay Melton Milk SPF 100 or over. I wore it over that sunscreen and it wore beautifully. I mean, my complexion looked flawless by the time I was done with that 9:30 to 1:30, 2:30, maybe even 2:30, that outing. It looked flawless. I did set it with the RMS Hydra setting powder in light. I used a brush. Donna said, you don't need to set this. I did anyway because I was really intrigued by the Hydra setting powder. I used a brush to set it. Beautiful. It looks beautiful. Now today, this morning, I wanted to play with it a little bit more. I take my kids to the playground, which is 1.5 miles away from my home. I get my exercise. I walk there with a double stroller. It's 1.5 miles there, 1.5 miles back. There are covered parts of the walk and there are uncovered parts of the walk. It is a walk people around the neighborhood know me for because it's, it's an intense walk in Florida, pushing 2 kids in the midday, So I did a full face of makeup this morning because I'm really having fun making myself a little bit cuter. Moms, you get it, right? Like, you were cute, you got married, and then you started having babies, and then all of a sudden, it's poopy diapers and dinner and, the rest of it. And it's beautiful, but holy, you kind of lose yourself, who you were. And so it's lovely kind of being reintroduced to the world. Makeup has changed since 2019, Makeup has changed. The world has changed, including makeup, and makeup has changed for the better. So, needless to say, I digress. I did a full face today, what I consider to be a full face. I used what I really like, which is the Lisa Eldridge Seamless Skin Tint in T3. And by the way, you can send Lisa Eldridge's support staff a email, a selfie, and they will color match you. And they did within 24 hours. It was brilliant. They gave me 3 options depending on what I was looking for. And they said T3 was a true match. And guess what? It's a true match. It is my skin tone. It is the easiest thing to use. Listen, Khaki Reviews Beauty, very skilled, very entertaining woman on YouTube. And she, I think, applies it with a wet sponge, I think. I don't know, she must be doing something different because the product just absorbs into my sponge and it goes away and it's not cheap. So I do it with my hands. It's beautiful. It's easy. It's flawless. It's light. Mind you, let me say this specifically and explicitly. I don't like the feeling of heavy makeup on my skin. This weather is too intense. I've gotten accustomed since the pandemic to just be without makeup. I enjoyed the no makeup thing for a while, but now I want to be cute. I have the time to be cute. I have the means to be cute. Let's be cute. You know what I mean? Let's do this. So this is a beautiful product. I wanted to see how T3 played with the RMS concealers. So what I did was I used, after my skincare, after my SPF 100 La Roche-Posay Melton Milk, I put on Lisa Eldridge, and then I just did the 11.5 for the eyes. And it was brilliant. And then I set it with the RMS Hydra setting powder with a brush, and it was gorgeous. And then I put on the lip. And I'm going to put on the lip again. So I got really hot and sweaty at the park. It was great. We had a good time. A mile and a half there, a mile and a half back. I got home. My skin, my makeup looked great. I mean, I'm not kidding you. This is part of my goal here is I am a 40-year-old, 40, almost 41-year-old woman. I turned 41 on May 12th, okay? I want to talk about anti-aging in the tropics. Okay, this is an intense environment. It can really eat you up here. It can if you're not cautious, this environment will eat your skin up in so many ways, not just cosmetically. Okay, you got to get your skin checks. You got to do all the things. If you're interested in staying fresh looking and being cancer free, okay? And I'm a fair skinned person. My people aren't from climates like this, so I have to adequately protect myself. And I love being outside. I really do. I walk my kids to the park even in the dead of summer, and it is sweltering heat. Okay, so what does one do when one wants to look cute? We're not there yet. It's only April, but we had a cool breeze and intense sun, but there's still some sweating. So I said, the hell with it. I'm putting on the lip today, okay? This is what was recommended, this specifically, Eve in the serum lipstick was recommended by Donna. This is not a color I would have picked out for myself, but that was my goal in asking the question. Go with what the pro says, because I've been doing some crazy stuff lately. Like, I've been doing the same thing over and over again. And then, I told you I love khaki because I think she's so entertaining, and I love her looks, her lip looks especially, and her blush looks. The eyes are a little elaborate. And when I say that, I mean they're beyond my skill level, and probably beyond I just don't have time. But I love khaki. Anyway, what was I saying? I was influenced by her to buy some shades that I really love, but probably don't work the best on me because we are not the same person. But I love the idea of browns and things like that, yada yada. Anyway, this is like a coralish pink. Listen, I'm not. What is the color company? Pantone? I don't know. Is that the fruitcake company? I don't know. Pantone. That's it. I'm not a Pantone person, but you'll see. I'll swatch this underneath the uncover up, and you'll see. And I went a little hard here. What am I doing? I can't. This is my first time swatching. Okay. So that's not even reading as I would say it is. It is a coral pink. It is pink. But guess what? I have bluish, greenish eyes. I don't know. Everybody has their own opinion on what color my eyes are. That's cool. They're good eyes. I'm happy with them. I would like to utilize, whatever I have and accentuate any good features I have. So she said, go with Eve. And I said, okay, Donna, I will. So I also bought Morning Dew because I can't stay away from a lip liner these days. This is Morning Dew. Looks very attractive. I love a mauvey color, mauvey color. I'm going to lean over to this side, or maybe, no, I'm going to lean over to my mirror over here and do this. Maybe when I get more skilled at makeup, and I am not skilled at makeup, as you might imagine, I will start maybe talking and putting on makeup at the same time. One could hope. So I'll start lining my lips. And it kind of just matches maybe a little bit darker than my lip color, which I like. I'm gonna have to do something about this light. Okay, really pretty. And then I'm gonna put on this lipstick. Now it is, here you go, guys. So what? This is 11, 11.5, and 22. Yeah, you can see they all work. The 11.5 works in the sense of a corrector. Okay, so here is the component. You twist it from the bottom. It's really nice. It's kind of matte, all right? It's not the typical lipstick I'm used to, but I have to say it has that staying power of the park, trek, and back. It went on the pirate ship with me. It didn't get all weird and like patchy, which was really cool. And it kind of settles into the lips after a while. My husband's texting me. He works at night sometime. I'm going to tell him I'm filming. So it's really bright. I blot. And then I kind of just, I think like this might be my new thing, you know, my new daytime thing. So here I go. So I'm noticing the video doesn't read the same as real life. I think everybody sees that it's really pretty. I mean, reasonable minds can differ. I think it's really pretty. It's bright. In person, it's really bright. I'm kind of a no makeup girl. I used to be for a few years. So it's gonna take some getting used to. But what I like to do is blot it. And it's really not reading. I don't know anything about lighting, for crying out loud. But it's really pretty, and it's an unexpected texture. It's an unexpected color for me, and I really do think it brings out my eyes. So I have to say, I am pleased with RMS. They have a nice return policy. They offer the service for, you know, it doesn't have to be about color matching. It could be a consultation about color theory or, you know, what you should do. Anyway, they'll address any number of cosmetic topics as it pertains to their line. So I highly encourage you to take advantage of this service. The people are very nice. And it was great. It's really great. So also what I'd like to talk about is a recent purchase I made during the Sephora sale. And that is, I got really obsessed with Merit Beauty. And I got really obsessed with the idea of the bespoke blush. Now that's gorgeous, is it not? I got really into that. So this is something that's, I mean, been talked about on YouTube a lot, but I am low skill in terms of makeup application, and this is really easy to apply. Now, I don't know about its lasting power because technically I have it on right now, and I'm not really seeing much of it. But You know, if you have any suggestions on how to make this blush stick last longer, I'd absolutely love to hear it. Okay, another thing I bought during the Sephora sale, during my glow up shopping spree, was this Makeup by Mario soft sculpt bronzer. Okay, in the shade Light. And I want to know what you think. Does it go too orange on me? I don't know. I'll apply some now. I don't have any bronzer on, so I'll apply some now and we'll see how it goes. And again, if you have any, listen, if you have any feedback, I'd love to hear it. I'd love to hear it. So I put a little up here. Can you even see it? Can you even see it with this lighting? I think I need a ring cam or a ring light. This is why the collective YouTube audience, if there is ever any, is going to be like, this girl is intellectually deficient. Maybe I need to be doing this during the daytime, but like I said, I have 2 little kids. I don't know. I think it's nice. Sometimes I think, is it too orange? I don't know. What are your thoughts on Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Bronzer and Light as a fair-skinned person? Or, you know, what struggles do you have with bronzer as, in terms of whatever, however melanated your skin is? That is a question I have for the collective YouTube community who's into cosmetics. Now, as an ode to khaki, I have to put on one of her favorite balms. And that is the Rabanne Soul Kiss. Is it a lipstick? Is it a lip balm? It's a lip balm, but it's called Soul Kiss. It comes in a really cool case. This is what it looks like. Is everything looking the same in this lighting? I don't know. I do not know. It's cool though. Does it wash me out? Probably. Looks a little muddy on me? Maybe. I don't know. Khaki sold me so hard on it. I'm not mad at having it. And then, okay, in terms of merit, in addition to Bespoke, I was really into the idea of their sheer lip liners, which I also got in Bespoke, I believe. And the idea of a sheer lip liner spoke to me because I am currently low skilled in terms of makeup application. I kind of had fantasies of wearing brownish lipstick, which really doesn't work for me. I kind of got a fun vibe going on there. Kind of 90s look. And then I bought Baby in their lipstick line. which is hi, honey. He's laughing at me, which is probably too brown. Probably too brown for me. I don't know. He's laughing at me. So, I think my next lipstick endeavor is going to be the new Guerlain satin line. And I gotta tell you, I have a Guerlain lipstick from, I have to say, it might be 2014. Nope, it can't be 2014. It's 2013 or 2012. I still have it. I got it at Nordstrom in Merrick Park in Coral Gables. And it is beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. And for whatever reason, I didn't wear it very often. It is gorgeous. They don't make it anymore. Let me find it. It was their Shine Automatique. I don't know what the name was, but the number was 264, and it is so pretty. And I'll swatch it because it's still good and it is so pretty. And my husband and I just went to the rotating bar at the top of Pier 66 in Fort Lauderdale. If you know, you know. It just opened. Pier Top. And we had a lovely time, and I wore this lipstick, and I felt really good about it. And I actually used the bespoke Merit lip pencil with it. So I'm going to take a sip, and then I'm going to do this. I'm going to put on a literal vintage lipstick. It works fine. The lip liner dried out, but the lipstick is fine. Tell me about your experiences with old makeup. I'm dying to know. Okay. So. I think that's really pretty. That is a really pretty lip color. Now, I found out Guerlain has a store in the Breakers Hotel. My husband's listening in on this. In Palm Beach, which, you know, it's just an hour and a half away. And right before I had my second baby, I met my sister-in-law who lives in Palm Beach County and our mutual friend who lives in Sarasota. We met at, where did we meet? We met on Palm Beach Island for lunch at a really nice restaurant. I forget which one. It was in the one in the Brazilian Court. It's a beautiful French restaurant. Anyway, we have intentions to have lunch again. My thought is that I go to the Guerlain store in the Breakers after we have lunch in the Breakers and check out their full lip line, because I want to swatch all their satin finish lipsticks against my beloved 264, because you never can tell online, and returning cosmetics is kind of weird. I mean, I do it because Sephora has a return policy, but in terms of like going through Guerlain, and I think Guerlain is the only, like, they have all their shades on the website, but like Macy's or Neiman's or whatever, they don't have all the shades. So seeing it in person is really different than seeing it online. And I think this entire video proves that. And I've come to the realization through filming myself that, I mean, I always knew it. Like, I am not built for a brown lip, for crying out loud. Khaki is, God bless her, but it's just not for me. I need to lean pink coral, but I cannot, in this lifetime anyway, be the girl that wears brown lips. I tried. I'm gonna keep the bespoke. You know what? The bespoke lip liner, but I think, I don't know. I'm thinking about returning the Mario and getting a bronzer from RMS and returning the Merit in Baby because it just might be too brown for me. I don't know. One last honorable mention is the lip palette from, or not lip palette, the eye palette from Clio that I heard about from Abby Young. And this is really just a delightful palette. Very easy for a person complected like me to wear. It's got those browns that I've been loving, and it's got some paler pink, so it's soft, and it's easier for a person of my skill level to wear. Anyway, so there are my swatches. Let's see if we can pick it up. We have 11, 11.5, N22 in the RMS on Cover Up Concealer. We have Eve in their lipstick serum, very pretty, very bright. And then here we have Merit's Bespoke, which I'm sure everybody's heard about. And we have Makeup by Mario right here. It's not turning too orange on me on this, so maybe I need to keep it, rethink my entire strategy here. And then the unfortunately discontinued number 264 on the Guerlain lipstick. But that's my most recent endeavor into the world of cosmetics. Oh, and of course, the lovely Lisa Eldridge Enhancing Skin Tint in T3. I'm also interested to try more shades because they suggested 3 shades, but the T3 being my true match, which I have to say they were spot on. Incredible. Anyway, my name is Katie. This is Katie Plays with Beauty. If you have any questions for me or any comments, please leave them. Leave whatever you want to leave. I appreciate your feedback. If you made it this far, God bless you and thank you. See you next time.